It's a truck. Alright, look out now. Driving a truck. Driving the truck around. Hopefully not hit my mirrors on the door. Look out, friend. Oh, there's a tree branch. Now, I know that you have seen this truck 1,000 times. Maybe not this one exactly, but you've seen one of these. And I know this because there's about, I don't know, 50, 11 million of them are on the road. This particular flavor is a 2004 GMC SLT. I wasn't necessarily stuck on the Sierra or the Cat Eye. Could have gone either way. What did have to happen was this and this you know, pigment, and these. You see how there's 4 of them? That had to happen. What also had to happen was I had to be 4-wheel drive, which I guess for the most part that's what this represents, but not always. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It didn't matter if it was a 4.8. Didn't matter even if it was a 2500, as long as it was a gas burner. Didn't really care. Zach Gibbs and I went and got the truck a few weeks ago. I sold the 94 that I put the headlights in. I did the install video on it. Sold it to my buddy Blake because he had some plans for it. And originally I did too, but it just wasn't exactly what I wanted. This, on the other hand, is, you know, I've got to make it into exactly what I wanted, but this is, you know, I needed the body, you know, essentially. I'm not really going to go crazy with this truck, but these things down here and the, I don't like that. When we went and got it, I noticed that we're at the gas station, and I look, and there's some OEM lug nuts with some wacky looking locking lug nuts, and I was like, well, okay, maybe there's a key in, you know, the glove box. And I go around and I notice that the passenger side front is nothing but wheel locks, but they're not the same wheel lock as both of these rear wheels had on them. So about $200, a master, you know, locking lug set, key set, and some Cornwell extractors later, and I finally got those off. So now we're finally ready for wheels, which is why I wanted to go ahead and do the video. Now, I bought some bronze wheels. Okay, that's all you need to know at the moment. But these Goodyear Wranglers are from Grand Theft Auto 1. Okay, and what I mean by that is that they are just pixelated and octagon shaped. They're horrible. They ride terribly. They've been on here for probably, I don't know, 35 years, and they need to go. So what we are going to do is unbox the new wheels. And I don't know if your eyesight's as good as mine is, which is, it's terrible, but you can see this Kansei right here, which I keep seeing people say Kansei, but I like Kansei. because I'm from the South, we make our own rules. So they recently came out with a line of off-road wheels. And I say recently, I think it's been within the past 2 years. They're a relatively new wheel company to begin with. But my buddy Brandon at, I think I'm saying this right, Psycho, like with a P. I don't think it's with a P. I think it's with an A. But Psycho Speed, he does some work for them, and it's basically a seller. He's kind of a dealer, I guess. So what we did was, put the order on through and got them coming. Now, it took 11 years to get here, but that's not his fault. That's Kansei's fault. So, let me get you on over here. We'll look at these units together. Also, I don't know if you could tell or not, but I found my mic, and you'll never believe where they were. They were in the car that we were washing in the last video. Just hanging out. So yeah, I found them promptly. So this is some pretty decent packaging here. Got this nice little lip protector. Get out of here. Oh boy. I'm a big fan of white and bronze. I actually recently tried to trade my TE37s and mag for some bronze, but I didn't have any takers. We got stickies. That's the whole reason you buy them. Oh, dude. Those are gonna look cool. Those are gonna look so cool. Wash with soap and water only. Well, I can tell you right now that Meguiar's all wheel cleaner is going to go on here. Don't tell me what to do. Man, that is a good looking wheel. I'm a really, really big fan of simple 5-spoke design. And I watched a few videos on Kansei, I guess is what how they pronounce it. But I watched a few videos on them, and oh, well, there we go. Big bore right here. That's awesome. So I watched a few videos on them, and they were going through what their process was, and like most companies that start, well, don't ejecto capo. I mean, goodness. God, that was kind of satisfying. But like most companies, they aren't manufactured in-house. And I say that most companies like replica wheel companies, which I wouldn't necessarily call this company a rep wheel. They're kind of going to timeless design, and just kind of putting their own tweak on it. But I think that these are welded, maybe. I think they machine the face, and then they weld it to the barrel, and then they make it flat. So, of course, it's a little bit less, I'd say durable, maybe, than your average, Volk or something like that, where they flow form it, or it's all machined out of one piece. So, yeah, I think these are going to look good. This is the 6x139.7 or 6x5.5 or 6.5, something like that. I don't know, man. I know metric, but I don't know standard. I should say I know ramen, but I don't know McDonald's size. You know what I mean? So, yep. Those are going to be sweet, man. Those are nice. I really like that finish. Alright, now that I've shown you the good ones, let's get up in here. Let me show you the inside. This thing has a ton of miles. I think other than my Civic, this is the only vehicle I have with this many miles. And it's almost 400,000. This happened on my way home. We'll take care of that. In my Tahoe, I had a Boost Auto Sports or Boost Auto Parts. They have a wireless charger that goes in here, and I think I'm going to do the same thing again to this truck. It was kind of handy. Oh, there's the screw then. Wow. Okay. That's the screw that goes in there. It just fell out, so we'll put that back in tomorrow. Pioneer unit was already in here. There is a reverse camera, and I had one on the Tahoe, loved it. But there's actually a reverse camera that goes in to the handle plastic, like right here, and it's molded. So you'll see that in a bit. So I'm going to install all that. I'm going to show, you know, the odds and ends. I mean, this needs to be changed. I've got LEDs for that. I've got all LED interior lights. I got to get new badging. You know, once upon a time, this was a nice truck. It's got the little, you know, 2.5-inch DVD screen for that real, you know, theater feel. And like most of these trucks, I mean, the headliner is just in poor shape. They all do it. They're just terrible. Fabric just comes apart. But it's not in terrible shape. It's really not. This door needs pins and bushings and doesn't really like to shut. It sags a little bit. Well, that's all right. Evidently this truck had a engine and transmission within the last 100,000 miles. Tree just fell. It needs some paint on the hood. Somebody's already clearanced the bumper right here. I don't know if you can see it. It almost, I mean, it looks factory, so I didn't think that you were really going to notice unless I pointed it out. But also, the headlights are broken. I don't know if that's common on these. See, you can kind of see this one. See how, yeah. So, I mean, you're kind of cross-eyed looking, you know, in the middle of the street as opposed to where you need to be, which is shining right directly into people's eyeballs. And of course, I'm going to put 50,000 million lumen LEDs in those things. It's a truck, man. You got to. Since you're up high and you're in the perfect, you know, just eyeball height, you can just blind them while you're coming by them. You don't even need that light bar, that 50-foot light bar that you like to put on the top. But yeah, these wheels have to go. The truck's not even tagged yet. Like, there is no tag on this truck. And I already bought wheels and tires, which I went with 295/70 BFG KO2s, which I like KO2s. I'm an old man. I like white letter tires. The Jeep has, you know, white letter Cooper Cobras, so I love those things. But yeah, wheels and tires are, aside from a few odds and ends, were pretty much the first thing I ordered for this thing. They just ride so terrible on here. Whatever this is, this concoction of gross and nasty. So we're getting those off right now. Well, not right this minute. I mean, you know, tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, it's in pretty good shape for how many miles in the year. You can tell that at one point somebody really liked this thing, and then I think at one point it was used as strictly a tow piece, because we got a mark there and then there's one on the other side of the box. But this maybe that can come out PDR. I don't know. I'd really like to get that out, because that's honestly the biggest flaw on the bed. I mean, the bed is pretty much all of it except for some paint missing on the hood. But it's going to be a good looking truck. It's going to be a really good looking truck. Can't wait. And of course, if you couldn't tell by watching my channel, I am a massive fan of Vice Grip. A massive fan. I love that guy. He's so funny, and he does some really, really cool stuff. I think he's really changed the automotive YouTube channel spectrum for the better, for sure. But of course, that had to go on there because she's certified, man. Going to town. So Brandon, the guy that I was telling you about that I ordered the wheels through, I was posting pictures about the truck after I sold mine. Just for, you know, transparency, I sold, you know, my 5.3 swapped OBS extended cab truck, new brakes, brand new tires, wheels, all that stuff. I bought it for $5 from my brother. I put about $2,000 in it, and then I sold it to Blake for $5. Mainly because this guy had this one originally posted for $62, which is, it was kind of a stretch, considering the condition that I got it in. I spent 3.5 hours just cleaning the inside. I mean, it was horrible. So he was asking 65 or 62, and he came down to 5, and I saw it, and I was like, man, I gotta have it. I gotta have that thing. So I posted the Z71 up, and I had some interest, but people were like, you sure you need 5 for it? I'm like, yeah, man, I guess I'd go less, but I'm gonna keep my wheels and tires and my brakes and everything else I put on the truck. So anyway, so my buddy Blake was like, well, I had it posted up for 55, and he said, well, if you'll take 5, I'll come get it. And I said, okay, perfect. So I messaged this guy back. I said, listen, man, I'm coming. You know, I'm coming to get it. And my first impressions when I saw the truck were, it doesn't necessarily, you know, the pictures didn't really do it justice on the level of, you know, not good. But you know, for what it is, I know that this thing is going to last as long as me. I mean, especially with what I'm going to do to it. You know, it's not going to be stanced. It's, well, technically it's going to be stanced, but it's going to be a different stance. It's going to be, you know, more of a pre-runner style that I've always wanted to build. These trucks just look good like that. But, you know, the whole, let me put the wheel out to here and have these little bitty tire. No, sir. I cannot stand it. Every time I see one of those things, I just hate it. I hate it for the truck. So, I don't know why I like these things so much, but I really do. But Brandon, whenever we were talking about, sorry, that was kind of a long way to come back to what I was originally talking about. But Brandon said, hey man, you're just meeting him, you just gonna go buy it, you're not gonna drive it or anything? And I said, no. And he's like, well, I like to test drive them and think about it, and, you know, which I get it. That's smart. You know, I don't buy vehicles the smart way. And I said, no. I literally messaged him and I said, hey, does the AC work? And the guy said, yep, AC works great. I said, I'm coming to get it. So he drove it an hour to meet me. And Gibbs, we drove his Bonneville up there to get it. The Bonneville that if you've been following the channel, you saw us pull it out of the woods. And he's put a transmission in that thing, put some wheels on it. I mean, it's a good looking car, and he daily drives it. So can't beat that. We took the Bonneville up there, met him at a gas station, and I gave him the money, filled the truck up, and left. Drove it an hour home. And immediately I was like, these units are going away. So I immediately had in my mind what I was going to get. A lot of people say that they have issues, I guess, with 315s, because that's what I wanted to do, because for some reason KO2s don't come in 305s. They come in 295, 315s, at least what I could find. So I was like, well, I'll just order the 295s, because people were saying, well, you got to trim your bumper. And I was like, well, that's checked off. It's already been done. Well, you got to turn your keys up. I already did that. Well, you know, 315s. You can't do that without a lift. So I was like, well, okay. So I'll do 295s then. So that's what I did. So, like I said before, white letters out. This bronze on this white, boy. I mean, that's gonna look tasty right there. Gonna look tasty. These also come in only 2 sizes, I think, which are 17 by 8.5 plus 0, which is what these are, and then 17 by 9 minus 10. And with it being by 9 minus 10, and these are plus 12, and they're pretty much flush with the fender flares. I didn't want to, I don't like the pokey thing. I don't like it. The hokey pokey. I don't like it. So I wanted to stay with a relatively conservative wheel, and this is what I got. So it's still got enough of a lip to kind of give it that really wide look that I like so much out of like TE37s and stuff that are proper spec. And it's basically an oversized Regamaster, which is one of my favorite wheels ever, but clearly, on my truck. And I found a guy on Marketplace that had some bronze gram lights, the 57 DRX, or yeah, I think that's what they are. And I was really considering those, but I would be $2,000 in to just wheels, and instead of something like this, which is about, I think, 1,100 for the set. They're brand new, and then I knew that I was going to be 1,500 in tires with the KO2s, so I decided to go with these. And then instead of $2,000 plus the tires, now I'm 2,500 into a set of brand new wheels and brand new tires that are going to last a while. But I wanted to show you this just in case you think about getting these. They are Chinesium, just so you know. They are Chinesium. So 17 by 8.5. See it? The barrel looks pretty good. It's just a good looking wheel. I mean, this is their KNP is what they call it, because I think you can only get 2 styles. You can get KNP and you can get Roku. I like Roku, but I like the KNP a little bit better. So I think these are gonna look really, really stellar. It's got that deep look. They're a little concave. It's gonna look really good. And it's got these big old center caps. It's a nice wheel. I mean, it really is for a relatively new or recent brand. It's a pretty nice wheel. The finish is pretty nice. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, one of the things I really wanted to do when I bought this truck was, since you see so many of these trucks with 5011 by 36,000, black or polished, I don't know, are they American Forces? They call them Forces. You got the 6s and 7s, got the 4s and 5s, whatever. That means 24-inch wheel, 35 on 26-inch wheel. You got a 37. I don't know, man. I think all that gibberish is just unnecessary. So I wanted to go with a 17 with a big old fat tire on this thing. And just something you look at going down the road and being like, yeah, I like that. That's different. And be like, that actually doesn't look like your average GMC. That one might actually get taken care of. I wonder if he's changed the trans fluid, which the answer with that, the answer to that would be yes. I have. All you squatty guys and your lack of maintenance, I know. I see you. So anyway, I'm going to take these to work tomorrow and get the tires mounted on them if I can. Put them on the truck, and then we will resume this video from there. Give you a walk around, do some cinematics, any of the ones that I actually can do. And just see the massive difference that this does. You know, like just wheels and tires alone are going to make your car or truck just pop, man. Like, it's gonna look so good. You know, these are 18s, and I'm at least happy they're small enough to where, you know, they don't look horrible, but it definitely looks awful. So those have to go. I'm not a fan of black wheels, even though I do have black wheels on the sedan now, which I still have. You guys seem to really like that car. I've just been driving it, man. I put that motor in there, and then I ended up selling the supercharger, so I've just been driving it. It's a great car. Best $800 I've ever spent on a car for sure. So right now it's been parked because of, you know, this thing. But yeah, you guys will see that car again. I don't know what. I'm going to try and find something to do to it to, you know, bring it on the channel, because otherwise it just gets driven and parked and that's it. So, cool, man. I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. I need to check on my Bath and Body Works. Oh, this is not a sticker. Well, I was told differently. I was told I was going to get a sticker, dang it. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's in there somewhere. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever. I'm going to go let the dogs out and check on my Bath and Body Works shipment, because it's still not here. it is very, very wet out here. I didn't get all the, shots I really wanted to of the truck. I just kind of said screw it, put my raincoat on, and did it while it was in the rain. I did end up adding a night shift banner to the back glass of the truck. I'm experimenting with sizes and companies and stuff like that, vinyl, to see which ones looks the best, which ones I like. I really like that one. I think that in the future I may go to a bigger size or do different, variations of the size and stuff. I think I'm gonna start working on t-shirts soon. Not for sale, because clearly it doesn't make sense at this point, right? But maybe in the future I'd like to do something like that. That would be cool. Most channels normally venture into merchandise, so that'll probably be something that I consider in the future if it does go anywhere. But for now, I would just kind of like to have my own brand on a shirt, me personally, and maybe some family and friends if they want it. But yep, so I didn't get all the shots that I want to do, but they're clearly on, and it looks fantastic in my opinion. I couldn't be more in love with how it looks. So exhaust is coming soon. Some odds and ends. I've got to put the LED tag lights in. I've got a front tag, the Dale Earnhardt tag to put in it, of course, because you got to have 3, the Intimidator, baby. So it's a truck. You got to have it. So I think I'm gonna call it for now. If you watched it, thank you so much. If you consider sticking around and seeing me be stupid and awkward and do some stuff to these cars, definitely mess up a Jeep. I mean, it's going to be the furthest thing from a Jeep that I think a Jeep has ever been. So if you want to stick around and watch that stuff, I highly suggest that you do so. I know I'm relatively small and I'm venturing into something that I'm not very familiar with, but I think it's going to be sweet, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and liked and came back. I've got more videos on the channel if you want to go back through those. Hopefully you can see my progress starting to form. I'm going to try and stick to weekly as much as possible. The carport hung us up on videos, so now that it's done, all I'm waiting for is the carport people to come back, install the overhang, and then we are ready to tear into that Jeep like crazy. So, once again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully you're not getting wet, which I think you are. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.